What's going on, everybody? My name's Daniel Richardson, and I'm the WCPW review guy. Holy shit, we got a jam-packed episode for you right now. This is gonna be a long one. I apologize ahead of time. I have no idea how long it's gonna be, but I can just tell already. So let's get into it, shall we? We got first off, before we get to the pay-per-view, I've held it back for a week now. We'll do the loaded review, which is just that one match. I'm not going to cover the other clips they showed, just the new stuff. And the new match was, blanking already, intergender tag match, Prospect versus El Ligero and Ivelisse. First thing I want to cover right now, this is just, you know, whatever, the commentary. I'm not one to hate on anybody. I couldn't do it any better, I'll tell you that right now. But my God, and I was a fan. I'm a big fan of King Ross. Like, I actually liked him in the earlier stuff. So I don't know if it's just that he hasn't done it in a while or whatever the case was. This was dreadful. Like, I thought the commentary was really bad. And I like Kenny McIntosh. I think he does great when he's interviewing people. But man, just putting them together on the commentary team, you can just tell the difference. Like, you can just tell a difference between Ross and McIntosh and Shane and Bradshaw. You know what? I'm not trying to say like it should be, you know, whatever. At the same time, I do like that they're kind of playing musical chairs right now with the commentary booth. I think, you know, getting a lot of fresh voices in there is a good thing. It really is. I'm really sad to see Bradshaw gone this long. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm just gonna say I was not a fan of the commentary, and I think there's a big noticeable difference. Not saying I don't want to see him again. I say, you know, let's give him another shot. Let's get him back into the swing of things. I like the fact that you kind of got a different team doing. I know this wasn't really like a Reloaded or whatever, but like the B stuff. And it's, you know, that's good. I like that. So yeah, I'm not saying get rid of them, never again. I mean, give them their chance. Obviously, I miss Simon Miller and Ross. I think that's probably my second favorite team right there. But you know, whatever. But there you go. That was that. The match itself, Prospect was up 100 pounds before this match after they won their count-out victory week before. So we're in there, and of course the thing going into this match was Alex Gracie was crushing pretty hard on Ivelisse. Of course, she wasn't having any of that. And this led to a lot of just him getting his ass handed to him because he's just not paying attention. I love Lucas Archer's aggression in this match. Dude, he snatches her by the neck. I'm cheering. That's a horrible thing. I shouldn't be cheering, but I was. I was like, yeah! Grab right back the hair. I'm like, yeah, bash her in the fucking face. Of course, they don't get that brutal, so it's alright. However, I was still cheering because, I mean, they're my boys. And guess what? She's in the ring with dudes. It's an intergender match. Lay into her. So yeah, I was all about that. However, it doesn't happen that way. My only complaint about this match was, if you guys can remember that far back, I know we just got done watching, you know, True Destiny, so I mean, I know it's, yeah, but if you remember back to the first tag match, the only problem with that match was you had a lot of, it just seemed like a lot of sloppy, slow moves. Like, they would set up stuff, but it just seemed like it took a minute to get the stuff set up. Like, they would do, like, the miscommunication, you know, someone would kick, and then he would catch it, and then he'd get kicked with the air foot. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of stuff like that, which is standard shtick that they do, but it seemed like with Ivelisse in there, it slowed them down a little bit. Other than that, the match was fine. I enjoyed it. Of course, El Ligero and Ivelisse win, so Prospect down to 0 pounds, so yeah, back to square one, guys. That's not good. So anyway, so that's that right there. If I was James Arcane, I'd be pissed watching this match because I'm like, you know, I went out on a limb. I'm helping you guys out, and this is how you're paying me, son of a bitch. So yeah, can't really blame Kennedy on this one for whatever action he'll take down the road. Can't blame him. So yeah, that was Loaded. Like I said, I ain't gonna lie, I did not watch Loaded this week. I watched that match, and when I found out that was the only match that was gonna be new, I just left. Because I already seen their stuff, so when we already reviewed it, so. So moving on to True Destiny. First we're going to do the pre-show. Whoa, shit, I didn't write his name down. Was it Bad Bones? Big Bones? Bad Bones? I'm going to say Bad Bones. Versus Doug Williams on the pre-show. And, man, Doug Williams with a pop. Oh, my God. Like, Jesus Christ. Huge pop. I don't know if they were just excited that the, you know, we got a big match or big pay-per-view coming up or what, dude, but huge ovation for Doug Williams. Williams gets in there. They have a decent match. I really like this Bad Bones, and I feel bad that I can't remember if that's really his name or not. I'm only like 97% sure that was his name, Bad Bones. But I liked him. I really did. I thought he was commentators, which was Jim Ross and Matt Striker. I'll get more on that after this match. But they point out that, you know, I think as Ross said, like, you know, he reminded me of Perry Saturn, like, it's like a glance, and I was like, dude, he does look like, I thought it was Perry Saturn for a second. I was like, man, is this where you turn up at? He went missing there for a while. I don't know if anybody remembers that or not. There was like a period of time in real life, like Perry Saturn was just MIA completely, homeless or something. I don't know. And I was like, holy shit, he resurfaced here in WCPW. But anyways, match was, it was decent. It, you know, it was what it was. Bad Bones won. I was shocked. I ain't gonna lie. I just assumed Doug Williams was gonna win this. I kind of figured Bad Bones was gonna be like this new jobber. No, Bad Bones picked up the victory. So yeah, boom. That's how we start things off. True Destiny. Oh my gosh. Okay. First off, crowd huge. I don't know what the exact numbers was, but it was a pretty good sized crowd. So that was awesome. Crowd was on fire the entire night. That was another big plus. Commentators. Okay, we got Jim Ross and Matt Striker. I was really impressed with Matt Striker when he was on Loaded last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever. And I thought he did really good. Ross, who is a great commentator, and I will never, you know, badmouth him like that. I love Jim Ross. He's a voice of the Attitude Era for me. Him and King Bo. So, like, literally, I grew up with this guy. I love the guy. It just doesn't seem like he cares. I don't want to say that. He doesn't know the product that much. And there's just little things throughout the night. And I'm not going to lie, after watching this pay-per-view and having all this stuff in my head, some of that stuff's kind of slipping right now. So I can't pull out examples. I'm sure if I rewatch the pay-per-view, I'll be like, oh, that, and that. But they're just little things that he was just doing throughout the night, like saying, like, he didn't even know Hendry's name. The pre-show, he was just like, tonight, you know, championship on the line, Drew Galloway going up against... and then Striker helped him out. But, like, it was a long, awkward, like, you know, Striker could have jumped in there immediately. Like, even I knew Ross was in trouble. And Striker's like, ah, he's got it. He's a pro. Oh, shit, he's gonna got it. And he's like, hey, it's Joe Hendry. It just little things like that. As far as calling the matches, he was great. Because, I mean, it's Jim Ross. But once again, he just doesn't know the product. I feel like even Matt Striker, who doesn't quite know a lot of it, and you can just tell, like, little things, he's great at play-by-play stuff. So, I mean, and I think his play-by-play is incredible. Like, seriously, it's epic. So it makes up for the fact that maybe he doesn't have the knowledge. So you definitely should have had Alex Shane out there. Like, and there's just little things throughout that they just, I don't know. So I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't huge on the commentary overall. I think they both did good. And once again, I don't mind that Jim Ross, you know, calls these, but just like, if they just both knew the history a little bit more. That's why you need a Bradshaw or a Shane out there, so that way you can kind of feed them the history a little bit more. And I'll get the, you know, there's just one big glaring one that kind of got on my nerves a little bit, but it is what it is. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. Oh my god, this is how we start True Destiny out. They go for a double, like, drop kick first, take each other out, or kick each other, and they both go down. But then they get up, they do the little springboard thing into the rope, and the top rope breaks. And I popped. Like, I literally just shot my load, and I was like, I'm done. I'm exhausted. Got the towel, wiped myself off, and I had to take a nap. That's what I do after our... anyways, no, the match is like, holy shit. And I was like, what are they gonna do? And a true testament to both Ospreay and Ricochet, how great they are. Dude, they went through the match without a top rope. Did not. And really, still a damn good match. In fact, my match of the night. My match of the night. I think this match probably would have been a lot better, and I definitely would have been like, it's a classic without, you know, if the rope would have stayed intact probably. But the very fact that the rope breaks and they still put on a damn good match. I'm sorry, I got it. I'm biased on this one. I'm like, you know what? Yes, this match right here. And sure enough, I mean, at the end of the night, when I think back at the entire card, I'm like, that was my favorite match. That really was. Because that's something that, they obviously didn't plan for, but they used it to their advantage. I loved any move they did off the second rope. I love when Ricochet brings the top rope's on the ground. He brings the turnbuckle, the rope attached to it, out a little bit, and he gets on top of it. Like, literally, he's not even an inch off the ground, and he still does like a moonsault or some shit. Insane. I was like, son of a bitch. Like, this is just incredible. Or I think he's like a shooting star. Either way, it doesn't matter. They were doing flippy shit without top rope. They were putting on a hell of a match without top rope, which is insane. Because, you know, as soon as that rope breaks, they're sitting there thinking, like, holy shit, like, that was most of our match right there. Like, we were literally going to use that top rope quite a bit. And now we have the, you know, think on our feet. We got to improvise. We got to change it up right now. And they did. perfectly. Like, seriously, it was incredible how great they did. I don't know if anybody else could have pulled that off, and I'll be honest with you. Even some of my favorites. I don't know if that top rope breaking, they would have actually pulled off a really good match like these two guys did. Kudos. Seriously, much props to both. And Ricochet won. Ricochet won it. So, yeah, which I'm cool with. I was kind of more rooting for Will Ospreay. Seeing how the thing, you know, either way, I was wanting Ospreay to win, but he didn't do too bad for himself at the end of the night. We'll get to that later. But yeah, Ricochet picks up the win. Up next, I Quit match. We got Primate with James R. Kennedy in his corner going up against Rampage. This is, you know, the best, and it was really tough to get into this match after watching the Ospreay Ricochet match. However, this match definitely delivered, and I think that's the thing. And the great thing about WCPW is the different kinds of matches they have. Like, they literally do have a wide variety of matches. The bad thing is it's hard to, like, adjust to each match when they're just shot one after another. So, like, literally, it's like we just had this insane match with Ospreay and Ricochet, and like, holy shit, now we got, it slows down a lot, but it gets fucking brutal. And that's what I love about this match. This match delivered the goods on the brutality. I really liked it. Kennedy, like, before the match, like, James R. Kennedy was just kind of like fed up with prospecting. He's like, this is your chance, boys, you tag title. And he's just like, but enough about that, let's talk about the main, you know. And I just love that, like, I don't know, he's just like, he's getting fed up with him. And I can't blame him. I can't blame him. But we'll get more on that later too. But anyways, this match, Primate, Rampage, going at it. Match was getting brutal. I kept waiting for someone to, like, because I noticed they was like apprehensive to get on that top rope, and I can't say I blame them. Like, I was just like, man, that thing's gonna snap. Like, if it snapped with those two guys, just like, you know, two lightweights bouncing around on it, I'm like, these are fucking heavyweights in there right now. Like, you can't get up there. And I was like, Rampage kept going to the middle rope, which I think he goes middle rope offense anyways, but I was just like, he damn sure ain't going on the top rope just yet. So, but no, tons of furniture out in this thing, broke a table, got a little setup of chairs they use. I mean, dude, the pile drivers were fucking sick. And neither man quit. And so eventually Rampage would tape Primate's wrist to the corner ropes and then choke him off a chain. And my boy Robbie, he predicted this correctly. He said that it will probably be Kennedy, you know, throwing in the towel for Primate, which I hate to see. I honestly would have preferred my way, because I wanted to see like a remake of the Foley Rock I Quit match and just have the automated thing, because I'm like, because I didn't want the face to win and move on, because you want your heel to lead the whole thing. You know, you want to have the face play catch up. Either way, still a damn good match. It still was brutal. Primate, I think, was bleeding in this match. At one point they did a close up on one of them down, and I noticed the referee had blood on his hands, and I was like, where the fuck did that come from? And then I noticed Primate, it looked like he had some blood on his leg. I'm not sure where that came from. I do plan on rewatching this match later on. You know, I'm actually not gonna lie, I'm gonna watch a few of these matches again, because you know, one setting, you know, it's coming at you and you're like, holy shit. So, you know, a little thing like that I want to catch again. So, but yeah, right, there's definitely some blood in there. But yeah, Rampage win. And once again, this ain't, I'm not like, oh no, Rampage won. I'm good. Like, either way, I mean, it delivered in brutality. It did exactly what it did. And neither man quit. Neither man quit. So it still worked. You know, I'm just saying, for me personally, like, as a mark, I'm a mark. I'm okay with that. I wanted to see, you know, Primate win, but it's all good. Up next, they did announce during the pre-show that Pentagon Jr. was not going to be able to make it tonight due to some family emergency. So not sure, you know, what's going on there. I hope everything, you know, turned out okay, or, you know, I'm not sure exactly what happened. But we do get Drago, and I got the name written down here. I'm going to try to say this without making an ass of myself. I'm an ignorant American, guys. Just so you guys know right now, like, I'm horrible with names. We got Drago versus El Hilo D. Dos Caras. That's his name. Five fucking words and 7 syllables. That's his name. Anyways, this dude, apparently he's related to Alberto El Patron. Someone else legendary, like whoever Patron's dad was. I think their brother's actually him and Patron. So yeah, they are actually. They made that comment on the show. So anyways, we got this guy, and as I always say when I make my list, after I watch the pay-per-view, I rank them, and this was my least favorite match. And it had nothing to do with the fact that it was a replacement or whatever, because honestly, I didn't know any of the guys anyways. Like, literally, this guy could have came out and I could have said he was Pentagon Jr. I would be like, yeah, that's him. Like, why would it be? Because I don't know who these guys are. This match was just it was slow-paced for Lucha Libre. Like, I mean, I'm sure, I seem like a lot of Lucha Libre, Seems like a lot of the Lucha Libre stuff I watch tends to be more fast-paced. I'm sure there is a lot of slow-paced Lucha Libre stuff out there. I just don't know about it. And that's what this was. This was very slow, but it's also very sloppy. And I don't mean like, I don't know. I'm not going to condemn him for the fact that like at one point like he tries to catch him and he couldn't and he stumbled and fell. But I'm okay with that. Like botches don't bother me. It's just when it just seems like they're just don't know what they're doing in the ring. And there's like, and a good example of that is like whenever I guess Drago hit him with the finisher, which would normally finish it, like he kicks out of it, and you can just tell like Drago's like, what? And then like they just kind of redo it, or they do another kind of quick, I don't know, it just seemed very like a weird ending there. I'm sure King Ross will clear this up on the W2F moments, so, you know, looking at that, but to me it just seemed like the finish was very odd. But the match itself was just very sluggish, and I was not, like Drago seemed like he was doing okay, and he actually looked like he was more out of shape, like, I don't mean like out of shape, like he just had, it's like a pudge myself. He's got a bit of a gut, and I was like, well, this guy looks like he's old. He's like he had 20 years in the ring. They said something. He's a veteran. He's got the Chris Jericho body, you know. He can still work. It's all good, and he did great. I feel like it was the other guy, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his name again. I'll say Pentagon Jr. It's the other guy, Pentagon Jr., who I felt like really kind of hurt this match. But either way, like I said, it wasn't a horrible match, and the crowd was definitely into it. Like, that's the thing. This crowd was just into all these matches, which was incredible. So, yeah, even this match that, to me personally, I wasn't a fan of, didn't matter because crowd was into it. And like I said, I wasn't just like, oh, this match. No, I was like, I'm still in it. I was still wanting to see who won. And, yeah, congratulations, Drago. Glad you won. Hope to see more out of you. I really do. I want to see more. And apparently these guys, I don't know about the other guy, but Drago, the one with 2 syllables and 1 word name, I like that guy. Apparently he's going to be in the Mexican leg of the International World Cup tournament. So, boom, there we go. Getting some momentum going into that thing. Up next, Travis Banks versus Zack Sabre Jr. And this is where the commentators were kind of getting to me a little bit. Not necessarily calling the match, but it's just like there was history here. This is why this match is here, and they didn't mention it once at all. They were hitting this up like this was a brand new exhibition match for us, and I was just thinking like this is a rematch. There's history here. There's prior history here, and not once did either man say it. And I was like, really? No, and then, you know, Ross at one point like points out like Travis Banks will be in the English qualifier, and hold on, but like New Zealand, hello, New Zealand, no, and they're like, he's gonna be in, and then you hear Matt Striker go, oh no, he's gonna be in the other part, and then like Ross says it again, he's just like, both of you guys will be in the English qualifier, and I was like, oh son of a bitch, and now it's once again I'm nitpicking because like I said, both men did a great job as far as calling the action, but it's just like, as a WCPW fan, I just want to, we needed Shane and or Bradshaw out there, or both. I mean, I don't know. One's got us a pay-per-view, and of course, you know, you want to get people, so I get it, the name recognition or whatnot. You could have done the 3-man crew. You could have done the 3-man crew again. I would love to hear Shane out there, but it's all right. Banks vs. Sabre, excellent. It was everything I thought it would be. And in fact, in all honesty, as far as in-ring performance goes, it goes to this guy's right here. Like seriously, this was going to be my match of the night, but I just enjoyed the opening bout so much just because of the problems they had to work around. That's why he got match of the night. But it wasn't for that, this would have stolen, because this was great. This was pretty much what we got last time. Dude, like, I just want to nickname him like Sabre the Octopus. Like, dude, he just wraps around you. And this keeps going. It's the craziest thing ever. Yeah, I loved it. But I will say, this is a match, I will say right now, I just said I will say like 3 times. The stream was perfect until this match. This was the only match it cut out on. It wasn't long, but it did freeze up and then it started buffering. And I was like, oh, it'll kick back on. Because I've been watching a lot of the What Culture Extra stuff. And I'm having issues with it buffering throughout. And it's not anything major, and it don't really last that long. Usually it's just like it'll freeze and buffer and it'll go. And it's not, you know, a lot. It's, you know, twice a video or something like that, once a video. Like I said, I'm watching a lot of them. But when I'm watching this, it started buffering, so I was like, I'll just wait. And it just kept buffering like shit. And then I was like, well, let me try to refresh real quick. And I refreshed it, came right back up. No problem after that. The rest of the pay-per-view is perfect. And I wasn't the only one. Apparently it went out on some other people too. And I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those things I'm kind of glad, because they were trying to make this big move to like Loaded's going to be live. And I know a lot of the little smarky pricks out there, the same ones that were bitching that, you know, that they have to pay, you know, $6.99 for these pay-per-views. Because once again, you know, we want to do that. We want everything handed to us. you gotta pay, guys. Guess what? You want high quality stuff like this, you gotta pay a little extra. It's all there is to it. Those same pricks that were crying about that were also crying, as you know, probably crying as well as like, you know, this keeps freezing, blah blah blah. No, it was all good. Like literally, the stream was great. And when Loaded, you know, is going to get pushed back because they're like, you know, we're making it live. All those little smarky pricks were like, well, they're making it live and it'll just fade out. And I'm like, I agree with that. Like honestly, I was like, I think it's too soon to go load live just yet. Just because I think let's get all the bugs worked out before we make that big leap. Right now we're doing great. Like I said, give us the pre-tape stuff, send it out there. I'm good with that. But yeah. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good with the fact that they're kind of holding off on the launch of Loaded Live. So, but anyway, this match was great. Loved it. And the Sabre guys went back. So I'm good about that. In fact, that's the only match I guessed correctly. Well, no, I got the Angle match right too, I guess. So, but yeah, I didn't do too good with my predictions on this card right here. But that's a good thing. Keeps me guessing. Keeps me on my toes. So yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. wins it. Up next, we got the 4-way ladder match for the tag titles. We got Moss and Slater out there. And then, of course, we run into, earlier in the evening, Gabriel Kidd went up to El Ligero and was like, hey, I'll join you out here. Oh, you need a partner? I'll take it. And I was just like, whole time, I was just like, why didn't you and Prince Amin team up? Like, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of a Ligero Kidd team. But, hey, I was wanting to see Fat Ligero. I'll be honest with you, I was wanting to see Fat Ligero out there. It would have been great. But we get Kidd teaming up with Ligero. And then like Prince Means was like, and I'll accompany you guys out there. He's really laying it on thick. Dude, I thought the screw job was going to happen tonight. I really did. I was like, he's going to run in there when Gabriel Kidd's climbing up the ladder and he's going to fucking yank his ass down and hit him. It didn't happen. Didn't happen. And I can't, like, I'm not looking forward to the turn. I just know it's going to happen at some point. It's a weird emotional state I'm in. Anyways, and then Prospect. And then the fourth team, and that's the other thing too, like they just go ahead and announce 4-way instead. Like that's another thing Ross is just like, well, it's gonna be a 4-team. I was like, I didn't know it was gonna be 4 teams. I honestly, I had in my, I didn't think we don't get like an unlimited amount, but I didn't know. And it just seemed like, you know, for an open challenge, we didn't know who was coming out. He already knew the answer. He's like, it's 4 teams. But then we get Swords of Essex, sort of. So apparently, and I'm not sure what the real reason is, but you know, or maybe this is, I don't know. It could be the real thing. The story that Scott Wainwright gives us. Wayne Wright. That's it. There's no R in first. It's Wayne Wright. I'm gonna say that name. I'll have to pause in the middle each time, like break up in 2 different words because I'm an idiot. I'm an American jackass. So, anyways, he tells us that I guess Paul Robinson got in a fight with 3 bouncers at a bar last night and fucked them all up. Because, you know, he does that here in WCPW so well. Anyways, fucked them all up, and now he's facing attempted murder charge. So it's just fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie, that is the best excuse not to show up to wrestling ever. Like, ever. Like literally, like, I'm gonna use that excuse just whenever I want to blow off anything. Like, my girlfriend's like, hey, we gotta go to my parents' house for this. And I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm facing attempted murder charges. Fucking 3 bouncers last night. I fucking killed him. Almost killed him. That's why I gotta face these attempted murder charges. Brilliant. Just brilliant. However, his tag team replacement, and at first I was like, is it going to be Fat Ligero? Like, I thought that'd be funny, just like, he's scrambling for a partner. And in the back of my mind, I was like, well, shit, the Swords of Essex, there's 3 of them. And sure enough, Will Ospreay came out, pulling double duty tonight. Impressive. So, yes, we get our 4-way match. This ladder match, I enjoyed. It was fun to watch, but my big problem was, like, when they finally started getting the ladders out, it was less like everybody would run up the ladder real quick and then realize, shit, I need to be stopped because I can't, you know. So then they get up there and just wait a second and be like, should I go for this? Huh? I'm going to go for this belt right here. Hope somebody don't stop me. Here I go. Oh, I got stopped. A lot of that. Like a lot of the just timing was just kind of really off on that. And I don't know. That kind of hurt it a little bit to me. But it was still a fun watch. Like, it was still good stuff to watch. I'm curious if Johnny Moss actually got injured during this match, or if that was just part of it. Because once again, like I said during my preview, them, you know, Slater and Moss losing, and then they lost. Spoiler alert. If you're watching this, obviously, spoiler alert. But I knew if they lost it, you know, it wouldn't make them look bad because it's a fucking ladder match. Like, neither one of them got pinned. So when he got hit with the ladder, the fact that the crowd got really hushed, I was like, oh, maybe he really did get hurt. And then started hitting. I'm like, well, maybe he didn't. Like, maybe this is how you get him. Because he was dominant. He was fucking everybody up in this match. I just love the fact that, and one of my favorite spots was when Kidd has Ligero up in an airplane spin. Because he had a ladder initially just spinning around hitting everybody. He gets Ligero up, does the same thing. Well, then Mox comes behind him, and of course he hits him with a German, and of course that gives him the Samoan drop from Kid. It was just a crazy spot right there. I loved it. A lot of great spots in this match. I love the they had like they had two people stacked on top of Moss's shoulders, and then of course Slater comes off with like mega doomsday device from the ladder, hitting Will Ospreay at the top, and then of course he ends up dropping him over, and there's like a suplex to him on the other side. I mean, it's really good stuff. Like I said, a lot of great spots. I also loved when they're all outside fighting. And after they all get their little, all jump over top thing, you get Prince of Mean scaling the ladder, and then he busts out the magic carpet. And dude, like, crowd went nuts. And then dude, he hits him with a flying carpet off the top of the fucking ladder. Incredible. Loved it. So anyways, but eventually Alex Gracie, who underwear really killed me. I loved it. Give me a pair, actually. I still didn't get the Alex Gracie underwear too, but then I'll get the Jim Ross after that. Anyways, but him and Ligero end up clotheslining Smoss out of the ring with the ladder, and that's when he couldn't quite get up. Slater helps him, but once again they get to like the mid thing, and Moss is like, get back in there. So it just kind of tells me, like, nah, this has probably worked right here. But either way, I mean, it's good storytelling. They all get in there. I love the spot when they're all on the ladder. You got like two of them on the big one, and then you got Slater kind of on the other one teetering. One thing I thought was just weird, like, they would set two ladders. Like, at one point, Prospect has it won. Like, they have it won. And like, this is up another ladder. And then we'll each climb a ladder together. Once again, getting to that spot would be cool, having, 4 people on top of the ladders. But it's like the fact that they were obviously setting up a spot, that's what hurt. And that's what happened in this match a lot. A lot of it was the obvious setting up of future spots. Like, it wasn't just, like when Scotty Wainwright comes in, he puts the ladder, like, on the thing. Like, he props the ladder and leans it on the other ladder. And then just walks over here and does something else. And it's just like, well, you're clearly setting that up for somebody else. And, of course, he did. And it was just kind of like stuff like that. That kind of, whatever. But anyways, eventually, Gabriel Kidd's up there, and he's gonna get the bell. Once again, he had it. And then he had a case of the Joe Hendrys where he sees Prince of Mean in a headlock of all things. Like, seriously. It wasn't like they had a gun to his head. Didn't like they had his, his handcuffed to a guardrail and they're going to beat him with a ball bat, or the cush, if you will. No, they had him like in a little headlock, and he's like, no, Prince of Mean, I'm going to stop doing this for a second and look at you. And then, of course, Will Ospreay comes off with this wicked fucking cutter from the top of the ladders. Bam, they both go down. And then, of course, him and Scotty go up. Boom, brand new tag team champions, Scott Wainwright and Will Ospreay. And I'm good with that. Like I said that during the preview. I didn't care who won the titles. Anybody could have won it. It would have changed up the tag division a little bit, and I'm okay with that. I was hoping Slater and Moss, but once again, it works. It works. And like I said, it was a fun match. Like I said, though every little complaint I had was this little miney little whatever. Once again, they still entertained the hell out of the crowd, and I had a fun time watching it. So, big thumbs up. Tessa Blanchard apparently isn't showing up either. In fact, I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry, someone did tell me. I can't remember who it was. But I was told earlier today that she wasn't going to make it to the show. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But then instantly I was like, well, it's going to be Nixon then. And sure enough, Bea Priestley comes out. Dude, Bea Priestley, that's the best promo of the night. She comes out there, and she's just like, she ain't showing up because she's a pussy. Open challenge, anybody who wants a shot, come on out. Come get me, bitch. That was the best line of the night right there. Anyways, this Nixon Newell. And comes out there. And once again, it just seems like whenever she came out, I would have preferred to have the commentators go, "Oh my God, Nixon Newell, she's been gone for months. This is a big deal. This is a big deal right here. This match is crazy. She, got her title stolen from her. She's been gone for a few months. Bea Priestley's been parading around the champion. Now she's back." Insane. No, there's literally like a good 10 to 15 seconds of dead air when she comes out. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then even when she comes out, they're just kind of like, well, this young lady's going to accept the challenge. It's like, this isn't her accepting a challenge. This is her getting revenge. Another reason you need actual WCPW regulars as your commentators. Anyways, but that aside, match was good. Match was damn good. Really enjoyed it. Once again, these are the top two in the women's division as it is. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed I didn't see Tessa Blanchard. I hope everything's okay though. But it's weird because I know she's dating Ricochet, and Ricochet was there. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is something more to it. I don't. Once again, I don't know. But this is definitely the better match. Like, I would much rather have this match that we got than Tessa Blanchard and Bea Priestley. Just mainly because, like, the only build-up to that previous match was just the fact that, like, their boyfriends are feuding, and it's like, well, I guess we got a feud now. We had one mixed tag match, and I'm not happy with you now, so... Duh. So, but this was definitely bad. This was, you know, we went home with a better feeling on this one, I think. Nixon wins after he repeatedly tries to cheat over and over and over, and then eventually Nixon knows like fucking belts her, and that's the end of that. So, anyways, Nixon Newell wins and reclaims her title. Wasn't even a title match, just a regular match, but she got her belt back. So, and I'm okay now. I won't have to bitch every week after week about how, where's Nixon Newell at? Why is she trying to get her belt back? So she's back. She got her belt back. All is right in the world. Up next, a match that should have been the goddamn main event, but it worked out because how the show ended. So I can't really complain now because it worked. Anyway, this the special guest referee Martin Kirby. It's the WCPW title match. Joe Hendry versus Drew Galloway. Hendry's got a little bit more of a fan, you know, following here, seems like. Wasn't super huge. In fact, Kirby got the bigger pop of the three guys who walked out there. But anyways, this match was really good. Like I said, I've always dissed the Hendry character, never his wrestling ability. They put on a damn good match here. You know, hitting finishers on each other, everybody's kicking out. Future shock, and when Hendry kicked out, I was like, holy shit. But then he hits like I guess you got like an airplane spin future shock, or just a spinning future shock, or whatever it was, hits that and then puts him away. And I was just kind of like, wow, that's a very lackluster finish. Like, Kirby came into play 0 during this match. Like, literally, like, did not factor in at all. Which, on one hand, that, you know, it's very realistic. You know, you don't always have to have, you know, it's just one of those things where, like, we don't have a realistic sport, unfortunately. So it's just whenever you make, you know, a special stipulation like this, you expect it to kind of come into play at some point. And I was really shocked that, like, Kirby did not come to play at all. Just, you could have had any referee out there, it would have been the same. Still, great match, and I was just like, oh, Hendry, guess what? Fuck you, go back to the, you know, and someone even said later on, like, go back to the line. Yes, go to the back of the line. I got that, you know, hit me on Twitter, and I'm like, yes, absolutely, you're done. And I was waiting for him to do something, and he didn't. I was like, that's what I thought. Get out of here. Galloway! And I was really wanting to see Galloway and Ospreay, but now Ospreay's tag champion, so I'm like, wow, that kind of throws that, you know, monkey wrench in my plans there. So I'm really curious to see where Galloway goes after this. Either way, I'm happy. I honestly thought Hendry was going to win. Like, I just figured, like, there would maybe be a heel turn, but he would retain he would actually capture the title. Really happy to see that I was wrong on that one, and I'm glad to see Galloway win. So, bam, Drew Galloway retains the title. Main event time: Alberto El Patron versus Kurt Angle, and yep, this is Kurt Angle's last match here in WCPW, and then of course in UK. Period. Of course, you know, so, yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that though, and I'm guessing he's probably going to, I mean, I know he's got the Hall of Fame coming up, but I'm sure he's going back there to wrestle. He looked in better shape here than he did the previous 2 matches, I thought. So, show that, hey, he's really working out, trying to get back into, you know, TV shape for WWE at least. So, we get him out. Dude, like, the crowd is just not really feeling Patron, which is hard because it's like, it's Kurt Angle. Like, even I'm cheering for Angle, like, go Angle. Even though you're leaving the company, you know, this match should have been a main event. I'm still rooting for Angle because it's fucking Kurt Angle. And dude, I loved it because Patron, like, this match didn't have, like, I hate goofiness in a competition. And unfortunately, as awesome as the Cody Rhodes Kurt Angle match was, they did this little cutesy, they're trading cartwheels in the very beginning, and I'm just like, dude, fuck you, like, get in there, you know. And dude, Patron just viciously starts attacking. Like, he starts getting booed, something don't go his way, and he just starts like kicking the shit out of him. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Patron's getting booed hardcore. I loved it. And yeah, the match was just awesome. Like, seriously, it really was. And of course, it ends. Of course, we get a lot of, you know, he gets the arm breaker, and then of course we get the ankle lock. I mean, they get out each time. However, Patron comes off the top ropes, and Angle just fucking grabs the leg and turns him over, and ankle lock. And of course, as soon as he drops in and grapevines it, it's over, and sure enough, he quits. Kurt Angle wins the main event. And yeah, after the match, they both stand there, and of course, you know, they end up shaking hands, which, cool. Alberto leaves. Kurt Angle sits out there, and you know, he's soaking it all in. The commentators are finishing up the show. Out comes Hendry, and you know, yay, local hero. And he's like, you know, things didn't go so well for me. Just crying, doing a typical Hendry cry. And honestly, and once again, I was like, is it coming? Is it coming? Like, probably not. It's his last show. And then sure enough, low blow from Hendry, and I was like, yes. I cheered. I was like, yes. Ah, this is the greatest thing ever. You know what I love about it? It's so heelish in the fact that Angle's leaving. He will never get revenge for this. Like, seriously, he got hit in the dick. He went down, got Angle slammed afterwards. I was hoping for an ankle lock as well. Anyways, and that's it. And guess what? He will never get him back. That's brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. That is how you do things. Like, that's what I want to do. If I ever, like, broke into wrestling, I just attack people, like, during their retirement party. Like, seriously, like, someone's like, you know, wrestled my whole life, and thank you for the watch, and 60-something years in the ring, and I'm gonna hang up my boots. I'm just like, no, bitch, bam! Steel chair! You ain't coming back from that. Ah! That's incredible. I love it. Like, seriously, this was the biggest time. This is the most I've ever cheered. Like, with all his goofy songs, and even when he was, like, kind of like a funny guy early on, and I kind of liked him then, through his triumphs and just dominating. This is the most I cheered for him right here. That one low blow was like, yeah, Hendry, oh, this is what we've been wanting. This is what I've been wanting right here. And it's funny because like people were like upset on Twitter. People were upset that he lost on Twitter. Like I was going through, you know, between matches, like what's people saying right now? And people were just like, oh no, Hendry lost. This is bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. And then he turns on Angle, and I'm like, oh my God, Hendry, why? Why? I was like, yes. Oh, this made my night. Like this made the pay-per-view even better. Like pay-per-view's already great. Already great. This made it better. Yes, I love it. This is the Hendry I've been wanting to see. And I'm curious to see where it goes from here. Because, I mean, in all honesty, this was his last chance. So I'm glad he's not going to go right back to the title. Have heel Hendry now versus Galloway. No, don't want that at all. So really curious to see what happens. I'm sure Martin Kirby. I just have a feeling. I just want to see him blame Kirby. Even though it was a clear, clean loss, and he'd just be like, "You fast cow me, Kirby. You fucked me over, and I want revenge. I want your ass, boy." And I just want to see that happen. That's what I want to see right there. Just him literally just flip out, talking about how like literally fast cow, he made him ring the bell prematurely. Just whatever. This is the most ridiculous story ever. I want to see Hendry just come out with it. That's it. True Destiny was incredible. It really was. Even with all the little minor, hiccups throughout the night. From the top rope breaking down to the commentators clearly not knowing the product as well, to the multiple substitutions we had throughout the night. Still great. Still great. Well worth the money. People, seriously, if for whatever reason you just haven't got around to a lot of people who watch the WCPW are kids. Like a lot of people watching this channel are kids. I understand. Dude, do some extra chores around the house. Get your parents to give you that $7 a month because it's so worth it. You don't want to miss any more of this stuff. This was great. I'm so glad. Let me know what you guys thought about True Destiny in the comments section below. Let me know what you thought, some of your favorite matches, your favorite moments, maybe some stuff you didn't like. Vent, do whatever you want. Let me know what you thought of it. And yeah, guys, tune in here in like 20, 30 minutes or so, and you'll get your top 10 of the week, which got some good changes. Got some good changes. I'm loving it. So, yeah, there we go, guys. That's all I got. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already. Got my social media stuff down there. The Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram. Follow me on all that stuff. We have a good time over there. And, yeah. So this video, that thumb in love. Did I tear up the sound? I bounced that microphone off my thumb. Hope it didn't disturb you. Yeah, that's all I got. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And, yeah. I'll see you here in a little bit.